Not if you're talking to me right now, no. Yeah, after they do the intros. I can hear him now. Yeah.
For tonight's Red River Conference semifinal between Foro and Oklahoma United. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin tonight's match, let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, we're visiting Foro SC. Number 11, Brian Padilla. Number 7, Joseph Rodriguez. Number 10, Jonathan Martinez. Number 9, Pedro Jose Reyes. Number 14, Marcelo Pedraza. Number 8, Surafel Anca. Number 2, Michael Ambrose. Number 12, Angel Sanchez. Number 4, Alan Velasquez. And number 3, Omega Ayesu. Along with number 0, Carlos Vasquez. And now the starters for your home team, Oklahoma United. Number 19, Elijah Langford. Number 9, Ethan Nicola. Number 10, Mattia Malanovic. Number 28, Harry Tremblay. Number 6, Beckham Williams. Number 15, Ethan Taylor. Number 3, Kareem Williams. Number 16, Tucker Austin. Number 2, Isaac Dallard. Number 4, Jackson Lee. And number 1, Alexis Bertrand. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin tonight's match, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats of fable as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem performed by Hannah Gibbs. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd also like to give a special recognition to our walkout kids, Victory Soccer.
Every player dreams of finding themselves in these matches, in the biggest moments. It's the League for Clubs playoffs coming to you live from Edmond, Oklahoma, as 4-seed Foro SC takes on the top seed hosts, Oklahoma United. Welcome aboard our broadcast, everyone. I'm Dylan Rivera. I'll be alongside you all evening long. Oklahoma United in their home blue kits with Foro SC in their road whites. Their numbers are outlined in orange. They've got the orange trim. Be a little bit of a challenge for me up here in the broadcast booth, but I'm looking forward to it. Playoff action always raises everyone's standards. Everyone has to play their biggest and their best here tonight. If you are not on form, if you struggle in any sort of capacity, you go home. This could be your final night. Oklahoma United does not have plans for this to be their final night. They are hoping to use the stadium again on Sunday in what would be the conference finals. This one a conference semifinal matchup. Foro SC, as I mentioned, the 4 seed coming in. Oklahoma United, the 1 seed. Foro SC finished the season 3-2-5. Oklahoma United 8-1-1. That final regular season game was the only loss on the season for Oklahoma United. I talked to Jimmy Nielsen about it. It was a 3-2 defeat at the hands of Central Dallas FC. And Jimmy Nielsen said, to be quite honest, he was just ready to move on to the playoffs and knew that they could afford a loss, so wasn't necessarily concerned with getting all of the main starters out there, all of the key players that he would want to have on the field. Rested a lot of the lineup and was planning for this matchup here tonight. Foro SC as a strong group. Obviously, anytime you're in the playoff scenarios, you've got to have a pretty solid team, and it starts at the back. Carlos Vasquez in goal. He wears number 0. Omega Iyasu, number 3. Alan Velasquez, number 4. Angel Sanchez, number 12. And number 2, Michael Ambrose, make up the back 4 in goalkeeping positions. Surafel Anca in the midfield wears number 8. Number 14, Marcelo Pedraza. Number 9 is Pedro Jose Reyes. Number 10, Jonathan Martinez. Number 7 is Joseph Rodriguez, and in attack is number 11, Brian Padilla. Starting 11 for Oklahoma United. In goal, number 1, Alexis Bertrand. Back line consists of number 4, Jackson Lee. Number 2, Isaac Dalhart. At left back, number 3, Kareem Williams. At right back, number 16, Tucker Austin. In the midfield, number 15, Ethan Taylor. Number 6, Beckham Williams. And number 28, Harry Tremblez. Out wide will be number 10, Matija Milinovic, number 9, Ethan Nicolo, and number 19, the striker, is Eli Langford. The United begins in possession, a 4-2-3-1 formation for them. Interested to see what Foro SC will look like here tonight. Jimmy Nielsen had talked about the formation they're running, creating some problems for opponents. He said the diamond in the midfield makes life difficult. That's evidenced in the first matchup between these two squads when Oklahoma United got just a 1-0 victory over Foro SC. I say first matchup, that was the second matchup between the two, but the first here at Chad Richardson Stadium. Able to beat Foro SC 3-0 near the start of the season, just the second match on the calendar. But when Foro SC made the road trip up here, they made life extremely difficult for United. And Nikhil Alexander had to score the winner to lift Oklahoma United in that match. It was the 85th minute, a rocket from the 18-yard line. United hoping to turn their fortunes here tonight. maybe have a little bit less of a nail biter. Nicolo trying to feed it through to Langford. Pass picked out by Taylor. United still in possession. Nicolo. Again, Foro SC able to stall them out. Anka found himself in trouble. This is Milinovic. Isaac Dalhart. Now Jackson Lee. Ball played in. Iyasu gets his head to it. Nicolo plays it back into the middle. A strike from Taylor is awry. Seven of the starters here tonight for Foro SC started the previous match against Oklahoma United. 4 changes, including Joseph Rodriguez, Pedro Jose Reyes, Angel Sanchez, and Omega Iyasu. Iyasu to Anka. Now outside it's Ambrose. Reyes. All the way across the pitch. Back and forth they go, looking for Ambrose this time on the left side. Ball gets through. No true danger there. Bertrand off his line, scooping it up. Nicolo. Williams' left-footed ball finds Tucker Austin, trying to turn the corner. Couldn't keep it in the byline. Goal kick on the way. It was a rather unceremonious end to the season for Foro SC. Lost 3 of their last 4. Tremble is just outside the 18. Now Beckham Williams. Williams feeds it out. Tremble is looking to cross. Back post, Nicolo's there. It's headed away by Foro. A whistle, a free kick will be the result. Free kicks brought to you by Fresh Fit 405. Foro finished with the 1-0 loss here against Oklahoma United. Got a 4-2 victory over the Dallas Dragons. Then back-to-back 2-1 losses. One to FC Dallas U23s to finish the season, but the second to last match is the shocker. 2-1 loss to 1015 FC. 1015 had lost all 9 of their other 10 regular season matches and had a goal differential of -40. Unsure of the circumstances of that match. Maybe there were injuries or penalties, but either way, it doesn't look good on paper to take a loss to the team that's in the basement. Isaac Dalhart. It's now Kareem Williams. Foro up to the task. That'll draw the whistle.
Tonight's free kicks are brought to you by Fresh Fit 405.
This is Michael Ambrose. Ambrose and Anka working well together. Anka able to shake off Williams, but surrounded by blue jerseys, lost possession. Ethan Taylor. Taylor and Williams starting in the midfield suggests that Jimmy Nielsen is looking to be very attack heavy here tonight. As they get into the box here, Milenovic fires too high. Taylor has played all over the pitch in the starting 11. This is Nicolo trying to cut it back to Langford. It took a deflection, a throw in for United on the far side. Taylor started as an outside mid, a winger, an attacking mid, and now as rather a defensive mid or a true center mid. Ball thrown in by Jackson Lee. Takes a bounce in the box. Williams sprinting forward, trying to play another cross. Goes over the head of everyone, but Milenovic tracks it down. Taylor plays it back and allows for a breather. United on the offensive again. Williams chested down by Nicolo. Difficult pass to try and receive. It came in with a lot of pace on it. Williams draws the whistle. Another Fresh Fit 405 free kick. Kareem Williams plays the cross in. Austin awaits on the right wing. Back and forth the crosses go. Not the greatest clearance by Foro. Tremblez can't keep it in play. A goal kick on the way. Beckham Williams to Taylor. So far, as the flag goes up, foul goes against Langford. So far in the first 12 minutes plus, United has dominated possession here. Foro intent to try to build from the back. Nicolo cuts it back, cross in. Again, United wins possession. Williams, edge of the 18. Trembles tries a shot. It's blocked immediately. Again, United resets. Austin. Milinovic shields. Milinovic looking to cross. It's blocked by Anka. Throw in for United. Long throw in from Lee. Made it all the way to the back post. Milinovic got a touch. Nicolo got a touch. And outside the box, Williams will send it back in. Off of Trembles, another goal kick. Ethan Taylor feeling some pressure. Looking for Milinovic. Ambrose does a nice job defensively. Taylor. Dangerous pass, unable to catch up to it. Dalhart steps forward. Referee says play on. And that time he will not allow them to play on. Reyes made the bump after the pass was already made. No card given, but a warning. Beckham Williams with the left boot to send it in. Good work from Milinovic. Can't turn the corner. Reyes goes down. Free kick. Velasquez to Iyasu. Reyes. Foro staying patient right now. Anka. Padilla trying to flick that over his head to connect with one of his teammates. Now maybe something building for Foro. It took a deflection off of Dalhart. So quickly it goes from maybe something to nothing. And United again in possession. Sanchez to Velasquez. Iyasu to Ambrose. Foro goes right to left. Martinez. Milinovic with a clean challenge from behind. Now maybe a counterattack on the way. Langford has space to move into. Gets it on his left boot. And did that roll through? It's into the back of the net. The keeper with a major miscue. And Eli Langford just scored the opener.
Oklahoma United.
Langford did a nice job to continue moving into the open space. Foro SC did not seem like they were worried much about closing down that space. So Langford gets it to his left boot, gives it a strike. And from my angle up here, it looked like it went into the side. The keeper got a full touch to it. But somehow it skates by, and Langford scores his 11th goal on the season. And in the 21st minute, it's 1-0. Taylor able to evade a couple of white uniforms. And at full speed, he's unable to connect with Nicolo. Velasquez. Anka. Martinez. Now Padilla. Jackson Lee defending. Martinez to Padilla. Padilla was looking for the midfielder Pedraza to keep moving forward. Cheeky little move from Langford. Pressure on his right hip. Trying to find room. And looked like he was maybe trying to take advantage of the keeper being off his line. It took a deflection off of Foro, so a corner kick on the way. Corner kicks brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
First corner kick of the evening comes in the 24th minute. Beckham Williams will be the one to take it. Ball in. Dalhart. A simple clearance. Martinez to Ambrose. Eliasu. United applying the pressure. Velasquez. Ball one back by Milinovic. He has Langford on the far side. Langford looked like he was trying to draw the whistle. The official knew it. Two sides will take their hydration break now. Usually find ourselves talking about the conditions here at Chad Richardson Stadium for these home matches because the wind has been a storyline throughout most of these home regular season matches. Last match, it wasn't really a factor. Tonight, I would also say not going to be a factor, but what will be a factor is just the sheer temperatures here in Edmond. You walk around down there in the stadium, you're going to feel it. It is 94 degrees right now, and I would imagine on that turf it feels just a little bit warmer. So the two sides taking an appropriate break for hydration. While we have a moment, I'll shout out all of our sponsors that help make our broadcasts happen and help make Oklahoma United the club that it is. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Teriyaki Madness, Fresh Fit 405, Front Porch Homes, and the Glaucoma Surgeons of Oklahoma. We appreciate all that you do and bringing Oklahoma United FC to life. 27 minutes have passed. United leads by one. Eli Langford, the goal scorer, his 11th on the season, scored 10 regular season goals. No surprise that he would be the one to give United the opener here tonight. He's been playing his college ball at Point Loma. Career tallies of 27 goals and 12 assists in 49 appearances. Is transferring to UConn for the upcoming school year. UConn known to be one of the strong programs in the history of college soccer. Chase Duke, another one on this United team, going to a storied program. He'll be playing for the University of Virginia in the upcoming school year. So everyone's had a sip of water. The referee blows his whistle, and they will put the ball back in play. So far, United has been dominant in every way, except for the finish in the keeper's area. They've been playing some early balls in. That was part of the game plan, to try to get the ball in from outside. Attack the open spaces out wide that Foro tends to give up, which they are doing here. Williams to Nicolo. Maybe this is an opportunity. Nicolo doing some dancing. Lost the ball. Velasquez up to the challenge. Still, the press from United giving problems to this Foro side. United has had some chances, but hasn't created any real clear opportunities. I would even argue that Eli Langford's shot that resulted in a goal was not the cleanest opportunity, and I think just about anybody on that United side would tell you that, but they're happy to take it as they cross into Milenovic here. Free kick on the way for Foro. Milenovic threw his hands up in the air, and a sly smile as he walks away from the spot of the challenge. Ambrose the one to draw it. Ambrose is one to watch on that Foro SC side. Jimmy Nielsen pointed him out as a really valuable player for them. Starting at left back here tonight. He has MLS experience. Suited up for Atlanta United, Inter Miami, and Orlando City. Now dons the white and orange here tonight. Ball got away from Angel Sanchez. Throw in for United. Austin out wide. Now Taylor looking for the opportunity to cross. Nicolo with a good chested touch. Nicolo! It's through! 2-0 United in front. Well, if you had to pick two players from the roster that you would expect to score here tonight, I think most United fans would have told you Eli Langford and Ethan Nicolo. Nicolo scores number 4 on the season.
Number 9, Ethan Nicolo.
And there's some breathing room now for Oklahoma United, but they always say that 2-0 score line, it'll get you. United can't stay calm, can't rest. No relaxation with a 2-0 lead. You've got to go get one more before you start to feel really confident. Milanovic does a nice job to step to it. Won the ball back at full speed. He's behind Iyasu. Through to Tremblez. Tremblez to Langford. Nicolo! That's the beautiful game right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oklahoma United.
That might have been the best team goal I've seen all season from United. Milanovic won the ball back, played it through to Tremblez. Tremblez lays it off, and Langford, instead of taking the touch and trying to get a second goal himself, does the intelligent move, leaves it off for Nicolo, who has a wide open strike. The keeper on his toes, but not ready. And Nicolo, in just 2 minutes, has 2 goals. I just told you United couldn't rest. They couldn't relax with a 2-0 lead, and they did not do so. 3-0 United in front. 3 front porch Holmes goals. Nicolo's season tally now at 5. That ties him for second on the team this season with Matija Milanovic. And the wind looks like it's been taken out of the sails of Foro SC. Club that was a formidable opponent when they came to Chad Richardson Stadium the first time around. And now here tonight, unable to really build much of an attack at all. We've seen one ball that actually required Bertrand to get active, but even then, he didn't have to do much. Just a dominant first half from United. This is the time of year you want to be playing your best football. You're now in win or go home situations. United always had plans of making a deep run, so a win was required here tonight to fulfill their expectations, and they are well on that path now. Tremblez, nifty pass. Nicolo switches sides of the pitch. It's Milanovic playing it through. Langford on his off foot misses it wide. Jackson Lee squeezing down the space. He's been a great defender all season long for this United squad. Tremblez now to Ethan Taylor. And again, United, a counter-attacking possibility. Fancy from Nicolo. But Langford brings it outside the 18. Nicolo and Langford are as in sync as it gets. And they look like they're having fun out there tonight. Anka out to Ambrose. Ball goes out of play. First solid build from Foro in quite some time. It was Joseph Rodriguez that had the final touch. Goal kick is the result. Nicolo was looking to connect with Langford. Langford pressing on Iyasu. Goal kick for Foro. In the preseason, when I had conversations with Jimmy Nielsen, that was one thing that he had complimented Eli Langford on, was his ability to press. Free kick on the way for United. Taylor looked like he took a shot to the back of the head. Free kicks brought to you by Fresh Fit 405. Langford's size and speed and physicality make him a nightmare as a defender trying to build from the back. Williams crossing. Ball back out. Long throw in on the way for United. It'll be Jackson Lee that trots up to scoop the ball up. Williams is down on that far side. He's up and going, but maybe took a knock at some point here in this first half. United relatively healthy. Gideon Bossman Kwanzaa, the only one that was mentioned to me as dealing with injury. And even then, Jimmy Nielsen said he was probably working at 75% here tonight. Began this match as a substitute. We'll see if he's going to find his way out onto the pitch. But at this rate, I would imagine Nielsen will continue to rest him. Ball in for Tremblez. Collision in the keeper's area and a free kick. Once again, it'll be for Foro SC. Referees asked for the athletic trainer to make the jog out there. Looks like it was Velasquez for Foro. And Tremblez for United. Tremblez is up to his feet. Velasquez still down. Velasquez up to his feet, and he will walk to the sideline with the trainer. We'll see how Foro adjusts and if Velasquez is able to carry on. End of the first half is not far away. So Foro plays down a man for the moment. Ambrose dispossessed. Taylor.
Ladies and gentlemen, officials have indicated a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time for the first half.
4 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. See if United can maybe find one more in that time. Taylor crosses it to Kareem Williams. Nicolo with a good fake. Has Langford in the area. Deflected away by Foro. Corner kick on the way.
Tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by Teriyaki Madness.
This is a Teriyaki Madness corner kick. Ball at the back post. Lee heads it back toward goal, but immediately it goes beyond the byline. Tucker Austin sending it forward. Some pressure from Tremblez, but Keeper not worried about it. Beckham Williams. Couldn't squeeze it through the gap to Tremblez, but Milinovic wins it back. Through. Nicolo was looking for the hat trick. Saved by the keeper. You could tell he wanted that one. A little sigh of exhaustion and disappointment after the keeper reaches his long arm out there, and Carlos Vasquez gets the stop and prevents this first half from getting any worse. But maybe something here. From the corner flag, Beckham Williams will send it in. The whistle will stop play for a moment. Langford shoved down the defender in the box. Langford with a quick apology. Williams plays it in. Iyasu the first head to it. Deflection out for another corner kick. This time it's Milinovic that will send it in. Goes over Jackson Lee. Williams now on the right wing. Lee back to Williams, and there's the first half whistle. (3-0) is the scoreline. Been a really impressive first half. As I mentioned, I think just dominant is the best way to describe it, especially between the 21st minute and the 34th when United got all three of their goals, 2 from Nicolo, 1 from Langford. And we can take a second look at how they happened, as United has built themselves a pathway to the next round of playoffs with these 3 goals.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first half goals brought to you by Front Porch Home.
All 3 of these goals brought to you by Front Porch Homes. This was the Langford strike, left-footed, low to the corner. Velasquez was there. I honestly thought he made the save and it went into the side, and somehow Langford gets credited the goal as it gets past Velasquez, and then Nicolo does the same, strikes it at the keeper and gets it through. And then maybe the most beautiful goal you've seen all season as a United fan. Nicolo got his second, was looking for a third there, but Velasquez got the save. 3-0 the scoreline at the break, and we will come right back here in a few moments with the Oklahoma United GM, Alex Zoneville, joining me in the press box.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment tonight, we have a special performance by Mike.
Back here at Chad Richardson Stadium for the second half of action between Oklahoma United FC and Foro SC in the conference semifinals here in the League for Clubs. I'm Dylan Rivera. I'll be alongside you for this second half. We thank you for tuning in here live with us on the broadcast, and we thank everybody who's been a loyal viewer all season long. We also want to thank all of our sponsors that you just saw on the screen there: Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Teriyaki Madness, Fresh Fit 405, Front Porch Homes, and Glaucoma Surgeons of Oklahoma. United got off to a fast start, a 3-0 lead as the first half came to a close. United was dominant in just about every facet. Possession total 58% in favor of Oklahoma United, obviously 42 on the flip side for Foro SC. The number that really is going to stick out, though, is the shot count. 9 for Oklahoma United is a fairly big number, but not overly shocking number. Shots on goal at 4, so 4 for 9 in terms of shots on goal to shots. But Foro SC did not record a shot in our stat sheet here in the press box. Did not get a single attack where they had a window of space to fire one off. Now, they did get into the keeper's area really just one time. There was a ball played forward into the keeper's area that Bertrand was able to run up and grab. Didn't test him. There wasn't really an opportunity to score on that play. And the other one was a ball that went all the way down to the wing with Michael Ambrose. The cross-in went off of Joseph Rodriguez, but the shot was fired at least 30 feet wide of the post, so never really in doubt as far as this first half goes. And a substitution in the attack for Jimmy Nielsen and Oklahoma United does reflect how comfortable they are feeling right now. They bring in Chase Duke to replace Eli Langford. Langford scored the first goal on the match, 21st minute. And then it was Nicolo in the 32nd and Nicolo in the 34th. I would imagine he would love to find a hat trick here tonight. Nicolo's done it before. Scored a hat trick earlier this season. Not often you rack up 2 in 1 year. And maybe this is the moment he does it. Edge of the 18, the ball crossed in. Tremblay is trying to get there. It's shot wide. Foro SC actually will be credited for a clearance and a corner kick on the way for Oklahoma United. Corner kicks brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Corner kicks brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Ball headed away. Williams puts it down, and Williams fires, but it is well wide of the goal. Martinez now with Anka. Padilla was calling for it. The pass came in late. Defense had closed down the space. Decision making has to be sharper for Foro SC. Obviously, the possession totals not in their favor. It's not always going to result in a 3-0 deficit, but if you can't maintain possession and get up into the attack, as I mentioned, only really built one of substance, it's going to cost you. Sharper decision making, quicker passes, and staying connected in the midfield. Foro SC is lacking that energy that they needed to come out of this break with. It feels like they are still just stuck in that same lull that they were in after giving up goals 2 and 3. Milinovic steps in at the right time, and Padilla steps in at the wrong time. Yellow card.
Yellow card has been issued to Foro SC player number 11, Brian Padilla.
Taylor kept it in play. And the deflection off of Velasquez will bring up another corner kick for Oklahoma United. Alan Velasquez took a shot on a 50-50 challenge with Harry Trembles. Training staff saw to him right before halftime. Foro completed the first half down a man, but he's able to continue competing here tonight. As Beckham Williams sets up for the Teriyaki Madness corner kick. Right in front of goal. Nicolo got a head to it, but he was underneath it. And it goes soaring over the crossbar. Timing on those has to be nearly perfect. Nicolo beat the defenders to the ball, but if you're underneath the ball, then it doesn't do you any good. You got to get up on top of it. Nicolo unable to do so in that moment. And now Foro SC starting to put something together. Reyes and Ambrose in some trouble on the far side, and now it's back with Iyasu. Padilla, edge of the 18. It went through. Brian Padilla makes it 3-1 with a well-placed left-footed shot. There's no way that Bertrand would have even thought that that would find a way in. When I say the placement was well-placed, it was perfectly placed. You put that a couple more feet inside, Bertrand's going to leap for it. Bertrand's going to try to see to it that it is sent out. And obviously you put it 2 feet the other way, it's going wide. Just spectacular marksmanship from Padilla, and now new life for Foro SC. I mentioned the energy was flat, it felt, coming out of the halftime. Felt like they still hadn't really gotten out of that funk. And maybe that's the release for Foro. Kareem Williams on the left wing. Ball crossed in. Milinovic in pursuit. Couldn't get to it. Over the byline. Goal kick. Jimmy Nielsen mentioned that being part of the game plan. They noticed on film that Foro SC on goal kicks will almost every time elect to go short and build from the back. United wants to take advantage of that, press them high, and win it back in attacking areas. Didn't do so there, but the free kick drawn by Ethan Nicolo. So United gets the ball back here. Free kicks brought to you by Fresh Fit 405. Austin, a through ball. Tremblay is all by himself on the right side, crossing it. Nicolo's got his third. Oh my, have yourself a night, Ethan Nicolo.
Oklahoma United. And ladies and gentlemen, that's a hat trick for number 9, Ethan Nicolo.
The ball in from Tremblay was phenomenal. He got to that right wing, and really a credit to Tucker Austin for playing that ball to Tremblay. Tremblay able to get in behind. Iyasu was miles away. And then to have that presence of mind, even as a striker, Tremblay knows where the right play is. And the play there was to pass it. That angle would have been tough to shoot from. Nicolo streaking down that left side at the back post. Was able to complete it. And goal number 3 on the night for Ethan Nicolo, his second hat trick this season. A special, special player. Mentioned earlier on this season when he joined the team that he led Division II in goals at Oklahoma Christian University, just down the road. Was OC Soccer's first D2 All-American, and Chase Duke wants to get in on the party. Velasquez makes the save. Nicolo was the Lone Star Conference Forward and Player of the Year. Set an NCAA-era program record with 17 goals. $14 goals against NCAA competition, tied for the national lead. He made the change over to Northwestern University. Originally from UConn, and he has blossomed into a really special attacker in this game. Done it at the D2 level. Done it now here in the League for Clubs. And is expected to continue his success with the Wildcats. This is Velasquez for Foro. Far side Ambrose. Reyes. Ball kept in. Williams playing physical out there on the edge. Good work by United. Taylor. Nice move, and he'll get the whistle. Second yellow card of the night. It goes to number 12, Angel Sanchez.
Yellow card has been issued to Foro SC player number 12, Angel Sanchez.
Two subs on the touchline for Foro SC. They'll bring in Rocco Von Rhea. Let me try that again. Rocco Von Reyna. He'll be in the midfield, and number 6 is,
Rocco Von Reyna.
I believe, Eli Curlin. Substitutions brought to you by Glaucoma Surgeons of Oklahoma. Dalhart clears it out of play. A throw in for Foro SC. Von Reyna. Jackson Lee got a boot away. Back into the keeper's area. Took a deflection off of Tucker Austin. Headed away by Williams. Far side, Reyes not playable at all. Need to correct myself on that substitution. It was number 5, Aiden Stevens, that subbed in for Foro SC. I mentioned at the top of this broadcast, those jerseys were going to be difficult to read from up here. And that 5 looks a lot like a 6. Goal kick on the way for Bertrand. Poor pass from Von Reyna. Brings up a throw in for United. Assuming the scoreline holds for Oklahoma United to get a 4-1 victory, or at least a victory here tonight if the score should change. United will play again on Sunday, July 12th. And they'll be taking on the FC Dallas U23 squad for the Red River Conference Championship. Tucker Austin across the goal. Tremblay! They're running riot now. 5 for United. Tremblay on the back post looked awfully similar to the goal he just fed Ethan Nicolo. And in the 63rd minute, it is now 5-1. Credit to Harry Tremblay. who scores goal number 3 on the season. Substitution for Jimmy Nielsen and Oklahoma United. They'll bring on Ethan Bonaparte for Ethan Taylor. Again, substitutions brought to you by Glaucoma Surgeons of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma United substitution onto the pitch, number 66, Ethan Bonaparte.
Referee had to run down and put the goal back in its place after Tremblez nearly took it out. Looked a bit like a hockey player crashing into the boards, or Shaquille O'Neal diving after a loose basketball. But Tremblez was not too injured to celebrate. He threw that dart out there. All smiles after the goal. United's got to be feeling good right now. Well into the driver's seat and just about ready to solidify a spot in the conference finals. As I said, that'll be Sunday, July 12th. It'll be against FC Dallas's U23 squad. It'll be hosted by the higher seed, so Oklahoma United will be the higher seed should they win. That match will be here at Chad Richardson Stadium at 7 p.m. It's still a long path to win it all. United would then be expected to play on Sunday, July 19th if they beat FC Dallas in the conference final. And they'll have to play in a regional final against either Omaha Evolution's U23 squad or Tulsa Athletic. And regardless of who the opponent is, if Oklahoma United is in that match, it is a home game for Oklahoma United. Kareem Williams is looking to chop that over to Chase Duke. And cleared away now by Foro SC. Should Oklahoma United win the regional final, then you go to the national semifinal and the national final. You're one of the last 4 teams at that point. Semifinal matchup will be decided by a draw. Duke goes across goal. Iyasu doesn't have to work hard to clear that one. So essentially in your head, if you're trying to lay this all out as I spell it out and spill it out here at Chad Richardson Stadium for you, it'll go conference semifinal, which is what Oklahoma United is playing right now. Conference final, which will be Sunday. Regional final, expected to be Sunday, July 19th. We'll see what the official date is when it's decided. And then national semifinal, Friday, July 24th. National final, Sunday, July 26th. And both of those national semifinal and final games will be at Norman Noble Hunt Stadium at the University of North Texas in Denton. Two more substitutions will be made by Oklahoma United here shortly. Mikael Alexander and Stephen Laguerre up to the touchline. Milenovic on the right wing. Flag goes up, a foul. Free kick for Foro SC. Free kicks brought to you by Fresh Fit 405. And there's the 2 substitutions for Oklahoma United. Substitutions brought to you by Glaucoma Surgeons of Oklahoma. Stephen Laguerre typically plays left back, and it looks like that's where he'll slot in as Kareem Williams goes to Dalhart. And Dalhart over to Bertrand as they pass off the captain's armband. And Harry Tremblez, who scored the 5th goal of the night for Oklahoma United, will also be subbed off Mikael Alexander in his place. Jonathan Martinez subs off for Foro SC, and into the match is Jorge Delgado. Number 22 is Oluwatobi Ayodun.
And number 22, Oluwatobi Ayodun.
Looks like Ayodun subs in for Reyes. Quickly, Foro SC trying to attack out of the moment to rest. Anka has space to fire. Stephen Laguerre nonchalantly blocks it. The lone goal scorer for Foro SC, Padilla, was the one to put it in play. Now crossing in again, and Bertrand has his gloves on it. Tucker Austin went down. The referee put his hand in the air to say play on. And now he will stop play. Austin looks fit to carry on. It's always a little bit of a worry when you see him go down, as real injury history. You see the brace on the left knee. Was mostly unable to suit up for Midwestern State this past year. And earlier this summer had a minor injury that the coaching staff were a bit worried about, but turned out to be nothing too severe, as Alexander was trying to find a way through. Laguerre and Bertrand working well together on the back line. Now Foro SC on the offensive. Stevens met a brick wall and Isaac Dalhart. Now United. Beckham Williams with the ball through to chase Duke. Duke trying to bump off the defender. It goes to the corner flag. Good effort from Duke. Referee waves off the plea from Foro SC for a foul. Now a Tropical Smoothie Cafe corner kick for Beckham Williams. Good work from Alexander. Wonderful work from Alexander, still fighting for possession. Williams hits the deck, won't get the whistle. And now Foro on the move. Ball through, and that shot had no chance. Second half hydration break on the way. 75th minute of play. Substitution on the way for Oklahoma United amidst this break will bring Carter Adams onto the pitch. Matija Milenovic will sub out. Substitutions brought to you by Glaucoma Surgeons of Oklahoma. It's been an exciting match here for Oklahoma United. Anytime you can score 5 goals, you've got to be feeling really good. And I think Jimmy Nielsen, as I mentioned, knew what was at stake here tonight. Knew that the last match, as much as you want to win, it wasn't necessary for playoff scenarios. Giving a lot of guys who haven't gotten starts or haven't gotten a lot of minutes the chance to play was something that he was making sure was top of mind going into the Central Dallas FC match. Result was a 3-2 final, with Central Dallas giving Oklahoma United their first loss on the season. But this is the way to rebound. Start to show what you've been about all season long. Flex the muscles. And remind everyone that you were still an 8-1-0 team by the time that final regular season matchup came along. You had still booked that 1 seed weeks in advance. Playoffs were never a question. And continuing to remind opponents and League for Club fans of what's possible. Pedraza was under duress. Iniyasu nearly lost the ball as Carter Adams applied pressure. Austin to Adams. As Nicolo going down the backside. Alexander was in there as well. The pass will not find its intended target. But Williams wins it right back. Beckham Williams on the byline. It took a touch, but it will be a goal kick for Foro SC. Another substitution on the way for Oklahoma United. It'll be Gideon Bossman-Kwanzaa subbing into the match. He'll take off Beckham Williams.
Oklahoma United substitution onto the pitch now. Number 44, Gideon Bosman Kwanzaa.
Substitutions brought to you by Glaucoma Surgeons of Oklahoma. Bosman Kwanzaa immediately getting involved in the action. Adams gets it outside. Another shot on goal, and Alexander has his shot saved by Velasquez. Gideon Bosman Kwanzaa nursing a minor injury. Jimmy Nielsen told me earlier on that he was maybe operating at 75% here. Was questionable, really, whether he would get into the match. Obviously, Jimmy Nielsen felt that the score line was far enough apart and it was late enough into this match to give one of the team's most effective players a little bit of run. Bonaparte played one toward goal. Velasquez makes the catch. Maybe a chance to counterattack for Foro SC. So Rafael Anka. Anka playing it back in, and another opportunity is headed off target. Ayadun gave it a chance. Foro has simply been unable to get much of anything going in the attacking third. Bonaparte. Now Laguerre. Chase Duke, who has dropped further back, feeds it off to Jackson Lee. A lot of these players for Oklahoma United will not finish the season all the way through. Shouldn't say a lot. There is a handful. One of them is Chase Duke, who really feels like he just got here because he did just get here. Made just 3 appearances counting tonight for Oklahoma United. Well, this will be his final match for the Blues. Earlier on this season, you might have seen minutes from Eli Berry. Eli Berry is also no longer with the team. There's a few other players that will have to leave early before the playoffs are completed. Eli Langford among them, as is Jackson Lee. Ethan Nicolo subbed off. He may also not be able to finish the season. Daniel Rivers subs on. United just has to be prepared. They have to be ready to make those changes and adjust to who's in and who's out. Continue to try to push for that national final. Good ball in, but a poor touch, and Bertrand scoops it up. Whistle for offside. Daniel Rivers too far out in front of the shoulder of the last Foro defender. Don't necessarily want to call it a positive, but when you talk about all those players that may not be able to continue suiting up for Oklahoma United, the one positive would be that most other teams in some form or fashion are dealing with that. There's going to be some players that can't continue to play all the way through. Wild shot from Foro. Goal kick on the way. So it's not just United that's being affected by college schedules and commitments elsewhere. But certainly it hurts to not have your full squad, especially the guys who have been there from match day one, unable to play all the way through to the final match. Micah Cox subs in for Foro. But as I mentioned, those changes to the roster, it sounds scary in the big picture of things, but again, it's no more than a handful of players. You're still relatively going to have the main part of the roster. A lot of the guys will finish the season. And the talent that you've seen all season long, I don't expect that level of play to change just based off of some guys having to go back to school. I think you're really going to see a lot of these impactful players step up into bigger roles. And some of these guys that have not had a huge impact will start to hear their name called a little bit more. Adams inside the 18, shows his hands looking for help. The overlap is there, but the flag goes up, pass too late. Bonaparte. Press on. Unwilling to relent, Nickel Alexander continued to pursue, even this late in the match. Be enough to energize some of the other guys here. Foro quickly throws it in and quickly kicks it out. Alexander is going to get a really unnecessary yellow card. '88th minute, you're up by 4 goals. Understand Alexander is trying to maintain a level of physicality, continue to bring energy out on the pitch. And you appreciate that in the guy, but a yellow card this late in this situation is senseless. Out wide, a good attack building for Foro. Ambrose. Trying to find some room to cross now. Ball in. Lee heads it away. Edge of the 18, looking to cross again. Laguerre gets the block. Another deflection. Duke shielding. Good strength shown by Chase Duke. Alexander keeps it in play. Good work to get by Stevens. Ball out to Carter Adams. 1-2 combo. Alexander. A little bit of showtime to put the cherry on top.
The 90th minute goal for number 34, Nikhil Alexander.
And in the 90th, Nikhil Alexander scores. I mentioned he wasn't giving up, and clearly you can see that now. Alexander scores goal number 4 on the season.
A minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time for the second half. 2 minutes.
Alexander scored against Foro SC last time around in the 85th minute. Now in the 90th, he adds to it. Goals brought to you by Front Porch Homes. 2 minutes of added time as the clock just ticked over to 90 minutes. This will mark the first ever playoff win in the league for clubs for Oklahoma United. They have solidified their spot in the conference final against the FC Dallas U23 squad, who was able to get a 1-0 victory over Central Dallas. That match yesterday. So United moves on to the conference final. Already won the Red River Conference regular season championship. But obviously everybody has eyes on the big prize, which means you've got to win the tournament championship. After the conference final is the regional final and then national semis and national final. So Oklahoma United wants to play 4 more times this season. This win tonight keeps the season alive for at least 1 more. But the challenge against FC Dallas will be great, as Bertrand collects 1 last shot attempt from Foro. The U23s were the 2 seed this season. And Jimmy Nielsen said prior to the season that they would be the biggest challenge for Oklahoma United. He wants it to be viewed by the guys as really a rivalry match, and the one that you have to show up for. And you put those 2 teams against each other in a conference final, you can only imagine the intensity between those 2 squads come Sunday. There's the final whistle. United with a 6-1 victory over Foro SC. And they're on to the conference final.
Win 6-1 over Foro FC. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll meet FC Dallas U23 Sunday night, 7 p.m.
So Sunday, 7 p.m., Oklahoma United will be back here at Chad Richardson Stadium against the FC Dallas U23 squad. You win that, move on to the regional final. You win the regional final, you move on to the national semis and national final. So as I said, 4 more matches in front of Oklahoma United. That's how they view it. That's what they want. And they've at least started down that path with a win here tonight. 6 goals is an incredible tally for United. It is the 2nd highest total here at Chad Richardson Stadium. Their third highest on the season. "90 minutes of spectacular soccer all across the board. It felt dominant from start to finish. And it started in the first half with a goal from Eli Langford, whose left boot somehow knocked it into the back of the net past the keeper. Velasquez felt like he was going to get the stop, and he did not. And this was Nicolo doing a very similar act, getting it by the keeper. This was Nicolo's second and one of the most spectacular goals you'd see all season. A beautiful build-up. Nicolo's late first half shot there was saved by Velasquez. In the second half, Foro answered with a goal. It was a beautiful strike, well placed. And then Nicolo got his hat trick in the second half. But so much more was added to it. That shot stopped by Velasquez. That was from Chase Duke, but Harry Tremblez got in on the fun. And then Nikhil Alexander capped it off. Just an absolute riot here tonight for Oklahoma United. Handling business. And it was to be expected for Oklahoma United. That's how they felt that this night should go. The confidence shown. The goals scored. And the finish puts a stamp on a conference semifinal win. The final tallies on the stat sheet: 16 total shots for Oklahoma United, 9 on goal, obviously 6 goals for the home squad. 4 shots total for Foro SC, only 2 on goal. It was a long night for them. Yellow cards assessed to a few different players here tonight. Nikhil Alexander got the latest one and the only one for Oklahoma United, 2 assessed to Foro SC, but obviously their season comes to an end, so those hold no real weight. But an incredible season so far for Oklahoma United. They will keep it going at least for one more match. They hope to keep it going for a lot more, but they'll have to get through FC Dallas on Sunday to continue playing. It's win or go home now. It's the League for Clubs playoffs. And Sunday, a date with the U23s from Frisco, Texas, here at Chad Richardson Stadium, 7 p.m. If you can't make it out to the match, we'll have the broadcast for you here. We appreciate you for tuning in tonight, and if you've tuned in all season long, we appreciate you as well. Have a great night, everyone.